Look at this. A murderer goes out here and the cops are driving back here. A murderer goes out here and the cops are driving out here. Wow. There's a murderer. There's a murderer. There's a murderer who drives out here. I mean, I'm trying to... Wait, hold on. Wait. See these bushes right here? There's bushes right here. There's a murderer. There's a murderer who used to congregate behind these bushes. And then they chop down these bushes. And now there's a police officer. I wonder if it's a coincidence. I was just wondering if it was a coincidence. Because there was a murderer. There was a murderer that would hide back here. And then they chopped the bushes. And you wonder if they chopped down the bushes because they knew a murderer kept hiding back here. And I was always trying to use the power of God to be very concerned about the murderer back there. Because I was actually more worried maybe about the homeless or something. Because back when those bushes, there was all these big bushes right near the Baskin Robbins. So I'm at the Baskin Robbins. I'm waiting to get ice cream, cappuccino blast. But anyway, all these bushes were really big and thick. And when these bushes were really big and thick, there was homeless people that would sleep and have like a life or a little temporary sleeping life behind these big bushes. And I thought it was such a blessing because they could go to like Stater Brothers to get some medicine when they didn't feel good. So if they felt sick or they didn't feel good, they could go to Stater Brothers and get some medicine. And see, the bushes are right next to Stater Brothers. So you don't have to walk too far when you don't feel good. So I thought, well, that's nice for the homeless people. But there was a murderer. There was a weird, like vagrant, wandering, weird murderer guy that would go behind these bushes every now and then. And I was wondering if that's why these police officers are driving around the area. I didn't know if the police officers had figured out a murderer has been around here quite often. But I don't think it's going to matter because they ruined the bushes. So now the homeless can't sleep there. And if the homeless can't sleep there, I guess whether or not the murderer's there. But the murderer could maybe try to abduct somebody or something. So I'm kind of glad, I guess, that they chopped down the bushes. I had mixed feelings because the homeless that are sick like to hide here, and it's so good when they're sick. So I had mixed feelings about them taking the bushes down. I was usually just trying to use my powers of God to keep the murderer away from people. And that murderer really can't abduct people very easily when there's no bushes to hide behind or something. So that's kind of good. Because Baskin Robbins is here. And they could convince a little baby to go into the bushes and abduct them or something. So I guess I should just be grateful they cut the bushes. But now the poor homeless people need to figure out what to do. You know, I feel conflicted all the time on this planet. Because, like, I don't know, when you don't feel good when you're sick and homeless, life is kind of hard to get to medicines and stuff. And I don't know. Why don't homeless shelters carry a lot of things? Like, see, I could have a lot of these philosophical, Jesus, God, and I would bitch about it kind of conversations. And this would be one of my bitching conversations. You want to make a homeless shelter, but you don't want to put like medicines and nice little things for their children. And maybe nice little things they could buy really, really cheap. You know how when you go to jail, okay, I went to jail for things I didn't even do half the time. I went to jail in San Diego once, didn't even know why I had ever been there. Because the United States kept me so drugged and poisoned. Had no idea what the hell I had ever been there for. But anyway, I was in the jail. And this beautiful little lady, there was this beautiful little lady, and she could mix all these weird foods together, and it tasted like a really amazing enchilada. And when you go to jail, you could get like food for 20 cents or something. Or you could get food for 20 cents, or was it like, or a drink, you could get a drink for like a quarter. I always wondered, if you're going to open a shelter, how come you don't have medicine for the homeless ones? Maybe some emergency medical issue type stuff. And some little silly things. I mean, they're homeless. You want them to feel like life has hope. When they're just sitting there so sad, it feels so hopeless. That I thought, well, but this is like politics and religion. You can argue about anything in life, I guess. There was this really, really nice boy in the car. I think his name was like Brock or something. He was so cute, so adorable, had a really good philosophy on life, that people struggle to have balance or keep peace because there is so much easy Jerry Springer-like stress or anxieties in life that bring on a lot of bad things like bad karma, or I think he said black magic, or I didn't quite understand that part because I don't know how. I understand how bad karma is kind of brought on, but I didn't quite understand black magic and how that's brought on. I'm going to have to look into that, because usually black magic is something you have to build, and it exists out of being built. So that was kind of fun, though, because I thought, well, gods get jiggy with it all the time. Angels love black magic because it's so pretty, like a really black stone. Angels love black stones, just like they love onyx and diamond and stuff. I thought, well, maybe there's somebody out there that has figured out how to take a Jerry Springer stressful aura and create a black magic out of it or something. It would be kind of a fun thing to find out. So, but I'm just waiting for the Baskin Robbins to open. And since there was a bunch of cops, I thought I'd talk about all this. Okay.